yeah, it's changed my life. It really has. Hi, I'm Barry from Fox Kennedy Barbers here in Hamilton. Juggling business, social life, sports, it's been hard to find something that's perfect for me. My eating was bad, bar of chocolate nearly every night, bag of crisps, 4 or 5 toasted cheese sandwiches a night. Over a year ago now, Fox was here and we were out skateboarding. I blew my leg, so I partial rupture my Achilles and tore 60 to 70% of my calf off, and just pushing off. And moon boot, still had to work. I had 1 day off the whole time, and I went into a very bad I went into depression. I went into a real bad mental state. Then going to the gym, I just had to change my life around because it was just, everything was caving in. And I needed to change my life, and also working out and having a good balanced meal. It had to change. Something had to change, and Swole Foods came along, and it did. It literally changed my life. Started feeling better, and then I just needed a change to get away from horrible food and looking horrible, feeling horrible. Just how it came along. It was how it's packed, portion size, and the taste of it, everything about it was just perfect, just all aligned. And the best thing for me is looking better, feeling better, knowing I'm eating good food. Mental health is way better, more energy. Basically I can have more energy for my son. Yeah, it's changed my life. It really has. It's a game changer it's been a game changer for me. It really has.
Hello everyone, welcome to the 3rd episode of Scaling Secrets. Today we have Taran Machra on our show for Scaling Secrets and talking about his journey of how he started Swole Foods and how he's taken that forward. Welcome, Taran. How are you today?
Bruce. Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good as well, not too bad. Taran, people call you from a different name as well, which is Tez. How did this name, first of all, came across?
I've been a personal trainer for a long time, and so in the gym, Taran or Taran, the way they said it here was, I think it was just a nickname that my manager at that time just came up with.
Yep.
And it just stuck with me. Taz made it easy.
Made it easy. The pronunciation is easy as well.
Yeah.
So, Taz, are you okay with calling me Taz, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Taz, before we dive in, what meal or product in your lineup, still kind of gives you butterflies, or when it gets sold out or someone talks about it, with the amount of range that you have across Swole Foods?
In all honesty, we still pinch ourselves every day when people order any product, to get the orders that we get and the amount of customers that we serve on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's still a unbelievable feeling and a moment for me, that's something that we put out with a little idea that started in a very humble way, that people see value in that, and people are willing to spend their hard-earned money on a product that we've created.
Nothing.
So all of it, man.
In terms of Swole Foods, right? What does this mean? I mean, what is Swole Foods' name itself mean?
Good question. The word swole technically has come from the word, it's like an Instagram trend, YouTube word, which says swollen.
Oh, okay.
So if someone who's got a lot of muscle, they call themselves swole bros, or even the girls are like swole chicks and things like that.
Oh, okay.
So it's more about, it's about they have Swole Nation and all this on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah. And so that's, so that audience who is living on Instagram and following all influencers, they are quite familiar with that name. When I was, naming a business, as some people might agree, it's like naming a child.
Of course,
it's like a very, very
100%.
difficult thing to do. And once you've done it, then it's it done. You have to live with it. And but there's a deeper meaning that I have for this word, and I want to share that with you, because So you see, what happens is, so if you just take the word literal meaning of the word swole, which is someone who's got muscle or who's fit or who's looking, who's got a decent figure or physique,
Yeah.
You can say, oh, that guy is swole or that girl is swole. Most human beings, when you look at someone who has achieved a better physique, right, at a subconscious level, what you're really admiring is the mindset
100%.
that person has.
Absolutely.
Right? Because everybody knows what it takes to get in shape. So
Yeah.
what you're really admiring is that person's ability to say no to the things that most people can't say no to, which is partying, drinking, all those sweets and things like that.
True.
So it's the mindset,
100%.
and then I translate that into every domain of life. So if someone is, in business who's doing better than you, what you're really admiring is what they were willing to put themselves through at a subconscious level, right? You're admiring that, oh, they achieved something.
True.
So I actually call it the swole factor.
Okay.
Right. So, and it doesn't have to be someone who's, really fit or very successful. It could be a mom who is, who's got 2 kids.
Sure.
She's waking up early, packing lunch for them, they're sending them to school, then going to work for 8 hours, then going and doing a gym session, and then coming back, cooking for them. I guess in a nutshell, I would like to say, if you're willing to put the work that is needed to become a better version of yourself, that to me is the swole factor.
Wow.
And so that's how I see it. That's what we are going to push forward now.
And that's how you actually came to the name as well, which is Swole Foods.
It started off with just the name, because it was kind of designed for gym food.
Of course.
With the macros calculated and things like that. So, again, we were thinking of so many different names. But when I wrote down Swole Foods, it had a really clean name to it.
Meaning to it.
I had a few guys that said, "Oh, Swole," because it started. I used to own a gym, so that's where this whole idea came about.
Yeah.
And we just went with it. We checked we checked the domain name and things like that, and it was all available. So I said, "Let's go."
What was the funniest name you guys picked up? Do you remember?
No, it's, to be honest, like, it was all we were kind of do things like fit something or healthy,
regulars.
Just the regular stuff.
Yeah.
The good thing with having a unique name is once someone hears it or someone gets it, then they don't forget it.
That's absolutely what you want.
They might pronounce it as Swole or something in the beginning, but also as a brand, you really want to transcend name and all of that, and you want to kind of deliver a feeling, right? And that's the most important thing that that mission that a brand should have is when someone associates with you, what is the feeling that they resonate with?
Absolutely. And just out of curiosity over here, someone like yourself coming from a background of the gym side of things, New Zealand relatively being a smaller market for the gym fit and the food especially, why did you choose New Zealand being a place to start this business? Because I mean, if you look at other places like US or especially India as well, the market is bigger for the food and because of the population around. New Zealand being relatively small. So why did you choose New Zealand for that?
To be honest, man, I didn't choose New Zealand as such. I didn't choose this business. I'll give you a bit of backstory. So, like I said, I've been a trainer for about 20 years. And so over the years, a big part of being a trainer is giving people eating plans.
Of course.
Because you can join the gym, you can go and buy, $200 shoes and all your clothes and Adidas and everything, and then go to the gym. And even that's not enough, because if you finish the workout and then on your way home, you're stopping by KFC or you're, going to Countdown and you're picking up biscuits and chips and things like that. So you're not going to see results. And as a trainer, what happens is you give them the training plan, you give them the diet, and most people are time poor. Most people, lack the discipline to meal prep every week, because again, it's not just about eating healthy one day or 1 week or for 2 weeks. It needs to become a lifestyle. For you to get in shape and stay in shape and kind of live all the benefits that come along with being healthy, needs to become a lifestyle. So when I had my own gym in South Auckland, we had 400-500 members, and a lot of people used to tell me, Taz, where can I get 150 grams of chicken, 150 grams of rice? I don't have the time. I've got to manage kids and business and all of this.
course.
So I just had a thought that if, in my own gym, if we were able to solve that problem for people where after they finish a workout, most people are going to work or they're going home, that they can buy a meal on the way out from the gym and then go home and eat it, knowing exactly what they are getting. It's a win-win because they will stay longer if they see results. So gym wins, right? They will continue on this fitness journey for a longer period of time. So they will have a better lifestyle.
Of course.
And then by having an extra product to sell to the member, you have another source of revenue.
100%. And talking about, right, I mean, if someone today says that all you're selling is kind of a meal boxes under a fitness label, what would be your unfiltered response for them?
We are giving you time back.
Interesting.
Okay, so the time, every effort that most human beings make today is to somehow buy back time, whether it be in business, you're trying to do things quickly or you're shuffling things around, because that's the most finite resource that none of us are going to get more of. Right? So if you save 7, 8, 10 hours a week of cooking, cleaning, doing dishes, going to supermarket, and then ending up with 1 or 2 meals for the whole week, and for $16 you outsource that, what is that extra 8 hours or 10 hours a week worth to you? If you can spend more time with your kids, if you can spend time on a small business idea that you have to pursue.
Absolutely.
Right? So we are in the giving people time back business, basically, right? While making sure that they get a healthy, nutritious, chef created meal delivered to them, ready for when they are to eat.
No, 100%. So pretty much you took that as a way of delivering time back to the people, to their own self, to their own schedule, which is an amazing thought itself. That when you think about it, I don't need to, like, if I take it to myself personally, we all do a little bit of grocery shopping every end of the week, which is how the ritual works in New Zealand, right? And I spend relatively around an hour and a half or 2 hours sometimes, moving around, picking stuff for what you got to do or the rest of the week. Saving that would be the most idealistic thing, to do something else or invest that time back into. And there's two things I see that that thing is: one, saving some time, and second, eating good food and going in your body as well, which is another amazing stuff, because it's all well curated from what you're saying. Talking about the journey, understanding that you started off with your background in having a gym of your own, and slowly how you identified a gap in the market about the food itself. But there has been a personal journey to this, right? I mean, you had some personal issues, you had some personal, not the issues, but challenges. I think that's a better word. And also had some personal health problems as well that come across with you. So would you like to discuss it with the audience, as to, what was that? How did you come across, how did you come through that journey of yours and what you are now, pretty much?
Yep. So, like you mentioned earlier before we started as well, I've shared it already in the past as well. So I'm not, it's not that it's a secret. So again, I had a very I was working in Australia for a few years. I had a very successful career there. In 2012, my father fell sick. So my mother and father were living here in New Zealand. I had gone to Australia, 2007-8. I did an MBA, moved to Australia, got a job there, was working, was making good money, had a good lifestyle, and had a good career path. And in December 2012, my father had a stroke. He felt unwell. I came back to be here with them. And at that time, he was really frail. And, my father was a Punjabi, like strong man who I grew up, he was like the strongest guy I knew, and then to see him really weak and almost childlike, as a son, it was quite a different experience,
I know.
different experience for me. And same for my mom, because my mom and dad were kind of, soulmates, like they were just inseparable. And so she was really weak. And so at that time when I came back, she questioned me. She said, Taran, you need to come back and be with me because I can't manage this alone. My sister, had her partner and she was kind of living her own life. And she was also very much involved in helping. But my mom wanted me to come back, And so I was at a crossroads in my life where I was like, on one side, I have this career with a really well-known business and brand, and they've got this path for me. On the other side, I had to leave all that and then come back to New Zealand and be here, not knowing what life was going to be, right? So I made that choice because for me, it was a really one question, which was like, if I was successful and I made money and I had all this thing, and if something was to happen to Dad, I would not be able to live with that, right? If I had the opportunity to be with them and I said no to that and I pursued material success, that was something that I could not live with. So I dropped the job, left everything, came back here, and that was 2012. The whole of 2012, I was in New Zealand. Not a lot of people know this, but I still tried to get jobs here, and I got rejected from everything.
Wow.
Every job I went to,
even
I got
though
rejected.
that you were qualified enough.
I was the best. Like I was like,
Okay.
in Australia I was the best, and in New Zealand I was getting rejected from
down the pecking order.
basic sales roles, and so now I know those. I'll tell you why. Now I know what was going on. But that was and not a lot of people know this, but I actually went to Work and Income for support, man. I had no money.
Seriously?
I had no money.
Wow.
Because even when I was living in Australia, my mom and dad had a bank card in New Zealand because I was earning there, but they were spending here,
Of course.
I was supporting their life here. So I never saved money in my hand. Like I never had the ability to save money at that time.
Yeah.
So I had no money, and nothing was working out. And I didn't at that time want to ask my dad for any money. And so I went to, I went on Work and Income, man, and starting to go for job interviews with them, but nothing was working out. And so so what happened then, every moment in 2012, I was able to be with mom and dad.
Of course, yeah.
And we was, got this ability, like it was the most beautiful time of my life.
100%.
And then in January 2013, my father passed away. And so, that was a huge, very, very difficult time for us. And me personally, as a son, then my mom was my everything. I was living for her, right? I was trying to, because she was completely broken at that time.
Yeah.
And then, so we thought like, this is life's biggest blow. And, it was very tough, but it was now, looking back, 3 months later, my mom passed away. And so I was in a place where.
Did she have any?
No, she didn't want to be here. Like it's one of those stories, bro. Like you hear, inseparable soulmates, and they're like, you hear these love stories about.
I definitely relate that.
Yeah, my parents lived it, and when he passed away, she was kind of not, she was
not in the state.
She was not interested to be around anymore, basically. And when she passed away, it was May 2013, and I had $1,242 in my bank.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I remember that day, and that was it. And I didn't know what my life was going to be and how I'm going to, any of that,
Sure.
So,
but wow, it is I don't know. I mean, it is the story that I can quite relate. Because I've gone through half of that recently as well, not too many years ago, but a few years ago. And unfortunately, I couldn't be there because of COVID.
Yes.
And I do not have my residency, so I was not able to leave the country at all. And I did what I did was remotely about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I I can relate each and every word that comes out from there, from what your end is. But you also had some personal health issues, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So talking about these whole things and challenges that you were going through, was that kind of a motivation step to do something about your life at that stage?
No, man. What happened at that point was when life. What happened? What happens is that
Mm-hmm.
when every reference you have for
Mm-hmm.
life gets taken away from you,
Absolutely.
okay, you no longer have any ground to stand on. From
100%.
what my parents were my anchor,
Mm-hmm.
my jobs were so-called security,
Mm-hmm.
my health was my back, like it was
Of
supposed to
course,
be.
your backbone.
Everything gets taken away, and what happens is that you suddenly don't know who you are, what, because you don't have your identity, whatever you made up
Mm-hmm.
is shattered.
100%.
You're no longer the person you were. You're no longer, you can't rely on any thought process
Yeah.
that you relied on in the past. So motivation, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
even know what that meant at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It was really just waking up every day and trying to get through each day at a time.
Mm.
And so, but I went through a really,
Tough phase. Yeah.
sometimes in life, like the biggest storms in life present beautiful gifts as well,
Of course.
right? And when after my mom passed away, my father had a partnership with a furniture business. I was able to get some money out of that, sold some
Of course.
furniture,
Yeah.
got a bit of pot of money in my bank,
Mm-hmm.
and then I decided to leave New Zealand and travel and go and heal myself. So
Of course.
I looked at the map and I saw where's the farthest away I can get from New Zealand, and it was Portugal. So I bought a
Wow.
one-way ticket, ended up going there, living in the mountains with this spiritual community, and
Uh-huh.
no power, no water, in a tent,
Wow.
and I lived there for a long period of time. And then through that, I also ended up backpacking through Europe in a way with like it's a community called couch surfing.
Couch surfing. Okay.
So it's like an online platform where people all over the world build their profile,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go and live with. So there's hosts and there's travelers.
Oh,
So they open up their homes to you,
yeah.
and you can come and live with them for free.
I did hear something
Yeah,
about this on a radio.
yeah,
Quite a while ago, but I've
it's
heard something about this.
yeah. So I heard about it back there, put my profile up, and so I traveled around Europe, and
Mm-hmm.
what I discovered
Mm-hmm.
is that as human beings,
Yeah.
right, we are energetic beings,
Yeah.
right? So it doesn't matter what language you speak, doesn't matter what color your skin is,
Of
doesn't
course.
matter where you come from. People vibrate and people reflect your energetic
Of
frequency.
course.
And so I recognized that, and I experienced that because I was living in places where I didn't speak the language.
Mm-hmm.
I was in people's homes,
True.
and there was so much openness, so much love, so much uh, positivity,
Of course.
right? And so I just realized that life is taking care of you in much more ways than you ever can.
Mm-hmm.
We only have these concepts and ideas that I'm doing something.
True.
You can't do anything, right? Like you're powerless. You can't even hold your breath for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You're
No, fair
powerless.
enough.
So I just surrendered, man. I was in
Yeah.
complete surrender mode. I said, look, life has kept me here. God has kept me here.
Yeah.
I'm open to whatever is coming my way.
True.
I have no intention. I have no direction. I don't know what tomorrow is coming. I'm here.
Okay, no, fair enough. And so, taking on a bit lighter note, is that once you came back from the journey that you had in Portugal backpacking, is that after that you started thinking of the soul foods relatively?
No. Swole Foods was the last thing that
Last thing.
happened, to be honest. When I came back, I was coming and going because my sister was living here.
Yeah.
And in 2015, when I came back, I ended up meeting a girl who's my wife now.
Wow.
And we ended up meeting at a common friend's get together.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, when I was traveling,
Mm-hmm.
my phone used to be off for months at a time. Like my sister, I used to ring her up after like 4 or 5 months saying, this is where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one's emailing me, no one's texting me.
True.
Nobody knows where I am. Like,
Yeah.
Everything got taken away. Friends, like no one knew where
True.
Taran is, And but then when I met her, there was some sort of a pull, and I still remember the first time I met her, because when I was backpacking and stuff, I had long hair, long beard. I was living like
this is the refresh version, guys.
This is yeah. And when we caught up, and the first time we caught up, I said, look, I have no money, I have no direction in life, I don't know what I'm going to do with my journey, but there's something that's drawing me to you,
Yeah.
And she, God bless her, she was very open herself as well. She said, look, we just take it how it comes. And I left New Zealand again, and then something kept pulling me back. And so when I finally came back late 2015, that's when I thought that, okay, it's in that whole thing of, I guess, moving around and traveling
Finding
and
yourself.
doing all that, finding, that had left my system. Like I was okay with now life saying, you got to be here, And when I met with her, something kept me. I said, okay, let's try and make something happen in New Zealand again. And so that's when I thought that maybe I can start a small gym, somewhere, and I can start training people.
Sure.
And I had no idea about commercial leases and all that. So that's how the whole journey of me wanting to do something again started up, Wow. And 28 commercial real estate location applications I got rejected from, because everyone said, you got no guarantee, you got no assets, you got no money in the bank. What are you going to do opening a business? And it was the lowest point, because here I had this girl, she was supporting my life. I was living off her income, and not knowing where my life is going to go, basically.
Wow.
And and so again, that was 2016. Then 2017, like you were mentioning, you touched upon some health problems. So what happened in 2017 was I suffered again, an old back injury sprouted up again.
Yeah.
And I was diagnosed with what is called degenerative disc disorder, which means my 2 discs in my lower spine, L4 and L5, were completely like powder. So there was no disc, so it was like bone on bone grinding.
Yeah.
And I was immobile again, so I couldn't even move my neck like this. I couldn't turn.
Wow.
So I had to went to spine surgery specialists and things like that. And finally, they were in New Zealand. They said you need to get a spinal fusion. Which is they put a metal rod and they screw it in your spine. And I said, I don't want that, because I wanted to live a more active life. And anyway, long story short, I ended up having to go to Germany to get this spine surgery, where now I've got 2 titanium discs in my lower back.
Okay.
So that time, my wife, well, she was my girlfriend at that time. Her name is Ksenia. She's Russian. We were living in her apartment. So she remortgaged her apartment to get money for us, because the surgery was almost the surgery itself was about $56,000.
Wow.
And then the return ticket, everything was adding up to about $70,000 for me to go to Germany, get the surgery, come back. And I only had a little bit of money saved up. And man, so I ended up going there, getting a spine surgery, and then coming back to New Zealand. And then everything turned around, because after I came back, October 2017, October, November, December, I worked harder than I'd ever done in my life to reestablish my physique, to rehab again, to build myself up again, from learning to, again, do pull-ups with light weights and all that kind of stuff. Just wanted to build myself up. In February 2018, I went again. That dream of the gym was still with me.
Of course.
And so I went into one of the locations in Manukau, and somehow by grace of God that it worked out.
True.
And I can share with you, because I think you also mentioned that there's business, people are looking to start business up. obviously this was just my journey, right? This is not a tactic
Yeah, no,
to
fair
do
enough.
it, but
I mean, it is what we want, right? Your journey can resonate with one person and makes a difference for him or her, maybe.
And it was something what you were saying in the just before we began as well, which was for me, when that rent, when that unit came about, it was in prime Manukau Central, and I just had it in my mind that I'm not going to let this go. So I signed a personal guarantee. I said, whatever rent you want, doesn't matter to me, because I had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I have nothing to my name. What are they going to take, right?
Yeah, no, fair enough.
So I said that this is my chance, that I cannot wait for things to align. I cannot wait for the right thing. I cannot wait for someone. I just got to jump.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And then survive. And then, so that's how it all started, man. And life, it was a beautiful journey, because the gym started July 2018.
Wow.
And again, it was so many miracles that happened in that gym, where I needed 181 members to break even. That was my break even cost, to pay the rent and to pay all my fixed costs. And in the first month, we had over 300 members. I was living there from 5 a.m. You walked into my gym, you're going to walk out with a key tag. Doesn't matter what I'm going to sell.
Has to be a sale. Doesn't matter how it's going to happen.
No question asked, and it was prime Manukau, and it was a beautiful time, man. Like those memories where I was training so many people, and it was very humbling. I built the whole gym.
One thing I love about it is, and this is as I said, this is the third episode, and we're talking to all the co-founders, whether it's a service industry or product industry. The great thing is how co-founders exactly remember the dates. That's a really dates, numbers. That's a beautiful game. You talked about 300. Something else you achieved on the 300 as well, which is 300 meals in, I think, in 18 days under one order or something.
No. So
was it? What's the story behind it?
Yeah, so that's where, in the gym, that's where the idea of Swole Foods came to be. And then I thought maybe I can solve this problem for my members, and started going around to all the food manufacturers, and everyone rejected us again, because they were like, which supermarket, which big account do you have, how many thousand meals do you want? And I said, look, I just need a few hundred meals for my members. And one person believed in the vision and the concept, and, with my business plan and stuff. And they said, look, we'll make you 300 meals if you sold them, in a couple of months, we'll bring you on as a client. And so the meals arrived. I bought a couple of secondhand freezers from Trade Me in my gym. And in 18 days, we sold those 300 meals. People, again, in my gym, I was just selling to everyone. And that's where the belief came in, because people wanted it again.
Of course.
Right.
And repeated customers.
And so, like with any business, when you start, it's all your belief.
100%.
Right. It's your idea, your belief. You put your best foot forward, and you make ends meet, and then put the product on in front of somebody.
Absolutely.
Right. Out of, in my gym, of course, out of trying to support me, because I had personal relationships, people may buy the first time, right? Just to support, he's my friend or whatever. But then the product gets them the second to come back.
100%.
And when they started wanting again and again and again, that's when I realized that this is something beyond what I thought.
And the product that you created is creating a change in thinking of people. And again, the concept of the time comes back here, that people are getting more time for themselves than anything else.
And before us, in New Zealand, there wasn't a concept that you go to the gym and on your way out, you're going to pick up your lunch or dinner from
That's
the
great.
gym.
I mean,
you're
absolutely right, because though I don't look like, but I do work out. I like doing workouts quite a lot, and been going out in gym. Again, the point is that the eating habits is a different, and that's what all makes the changes here. But you're pretty right. I mean, going to the gym, coming out of the gym and having a meal for yourself was never a concept. No. And this is what a kind of revolution that you have kind of brought into the gym culture. But is there kind of any decision during the period of time that you thought about bringing in that meal, giving that 300 meals that you had? bringing in a second-hand freezer from the from the Trade Me and buying it, a decision that you kind of backfired by any chance during that period of time, and how did you recover back from that kind of decision that you made early on in that timeline that you had?
It was not early on.
Mm-hmm.
It was. See, what happens is when you're starting up, right?
Yeah,
You're not really, you're reacting.
of course.
Yeah,
You're not proactive at all.
you're reacting to things, right? So decisions like I trusted, people making the website, people doing so many like the Facebook ads, and you're so small at that time.
True.
Where you're just trusting people, and that's my personality anyway.
Absolutely.
Right? Like I if you meet me, I see you at face value,
Mm-hmm.
and I trust, very like it's not, because I also trust the deeper meaning, which is that if for any reason
Sure.
you have an ulterior motive,
Mm-hmm.
right? I trust that life wants me to learn that lesson as well. By trusting you in the first place, and then you mislead me in some way or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that, because then I trust that there was something of a higher experience I needed to have, so that I don't make that mistake again.
True.
Right? So yeah, I mean, look, every day you make good and wrong and bad and high
Of
and
course.
low and decisions.
Mm-hmm. Anything that kind of odd one out that you think that this was something that actually backfired?
Well, I wouldn't say backfired.
But okay.
It was more at one point after the second wave of lockdown, and I
Okay.
was just saying yes to every gym that wanted our freezers.
Sure.
And at one point, we were in 120 gyms having our meals across the country.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I didn't have so much foresight that I was calculating freight costs and loss and damage and breakages, and then I didn't anticipate that in a certain gym somewhere, there's a 19-year-old manager who's more interested in TikTok rather than selling anything. So there were so many occasions where our meals used to show up, people used to buy the meals, and then the manager didn't order again. And then people used to ring up and say, "Oh, your freezer's been empty for 3 weeks. When are you going to restock?"
Yeah.
So, so we were losing sales because that person was not switched on enough to reorder. So you learn, and it's all about adapting.
100%.
If you're in business, you have to adapt.
Absolutely.
Every minute, not only day, because that's the only way you can keep moving forward.
Absolutely. And if you look at your younger self, right? If you go back in time, look at your younger self, and would you, and look at your brand today itself, which is Swole Foods, would you be more proud about it, or would you think that you've softened up over the period of time?
I don't. It's hard for me to say, because my younger self, I never had any of these concepts or ideas or dreams or visions.
Sure.
I never did. I am driven today a lot by. Look, my parents always believed that I could do something. My mom always she used to say my son is like the dark horse in the race. Like he's lagging because for a long time in my life I was drifting.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Like I started everything quite late. I'm 42 now.
Okay.
So, I started even a good job I got when I was like 27. Before that I was just, as a personal trainer, you're living different style, and
Sure.
I didn't fit in the box of a traditional Indian guy, who's already in like IT and things like that. I was always outside the box.
Of course.
And so today I feel very humbled and blessed that I'm doing what I'm doing, but I also don't take anything for granted. And I'm also really, every person gets an opportunity sometime in life.
Of course,
right?
there is one.
You have to recognize that opportunity and then go all in.
100%.
Right? And so this for me is what I have recognized for myself. Like I'm all in now. Like and I'm all in, not knowing the outcome. And because the outcome doesn't matter right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm just enjoying being all in, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know where I'm going to end up in 3 years or 5 years, and I'm not even interested to know.
Yeah.
Because I'm just happy being all in.
100%. No,
And
that's an amazing answer, to be honest. As I did hear somewhere when somebody, one of the biggest investors actually asked an entrepreneur, "What's your exit strategy?" And he said, "I've never thought about it because I'm all in."
yeah,
So I think it's a perfect answer when you talk about it. If you're in an entrepreneur journey, or if you are a person who has deeply invested into business, right, in your own business, I think there shouldn't be anything exiting or even a thought about it. Um, but talking about a lot of myths, talks around the TikTok videos and all that say around, right? Let's be real. There was always some people industry talking about it. There's myths. There's people talking about outside in the market as well. Um, and food market being such a noisy place itself, because there are lots of food options that people get these days, especially around the protein rich food and stuff. What is the biggest BS that you've actually you feel that the brands are talking or selling in the name of health?
because BS, is that what you said?
Yeah. I mean, you can say up to whatever. I mean, whatever you feel comfortable for.
I don't know, man. Like, to be honest, Bridge, like I operate in a very different way. Like
Fair enough.
I'm not at all interested what anybody else is doing or saying or what it's. I'm not interested. I have no
Not
interest.
listening to the
I'm
noise
not
outside,
interested in the
right?
market. Like
Absolutely.
if someone is trying to make quick money and do this and sell some fad and things like that, good for them. Yeah, they
If
they're
they're
doing
selling
what
it,
they're
they're
doing.
good.
They're doing what they're doing. And you can't be. I mean, you can't be distracted or interested
True.
in another person's journey,
True.
because it's not going to give you any fruitful outcome.
Absolutely.
I mean, also in a way, I just don't have the time. I don't have the time to know what's happening in someone else's journey.
No, true.
I'm not interested. B, I don't have the time.
No, absolutely.
Right, so I'm just dialed into my own thing right now.
Yeah.
And there's the fitness journey is I mean, if to give an answer, there's people who will try and make quick money. They'll
Of
try and
course.
sell you
There's
things
always
and
there.
stuff like that. But at the end of the day, as a consumer, you should know what you're buying also.
100%.
Yeah.
We talk about consumers, in mostly the places that consumers go to is the supermarkets, right?
Yeah.
And what supermarkets love is the brands with the personality over there. And also, the gatekeepers of these supermarkets, they like to control the shelf space, and they want to make sure that they have the sole control of what they're trying to put and how much the shelf space they're giving it to you. Have you ever come across that sort of a side, or have you approaching wild product to get into, because you are and about in the supermarkets as well, right? So I think can you give a little bit more enlightenment on how that pretty much works, or how that game is pretty much played out there?
Yeah, well, our protein ice cream, which we've launched this year,
Exactly,
is in the supermarkets.
Yeah.
And I think by the time this comes out, we'll be in 146 Woolworths as well, which we're going into this week.
Wow.
Yeah. So, look, that's more to know as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. You are trying to sell your product.
True.
You are trying to fight against really big brands who dominate categories. And you're this little brand, in a small country, and you're trying to carve like a little space for yourself.
True.
So how do you present yourself?
Of
How
course.
do you present the story? And the idea is that they will put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
So you got to sell to them, or you got to present to them is, what are you going to do to bring it off the shelf? Right? It's their job to put it on the shelf. It's your job to take it off the shelf, which is sell the story outside, get the consumer aware, get the brand known big enough that people go there to buy your product. And so it all comes down to that story that you're building with your brand.
Yeah.
And if if it's a good enough story and people back it enough, then you have a good chance.
But don't you think, because as you said, I'm just reciprocating the same thing. You being one of the small brands competing against the bigger boys, right? Don't you think you might get overlooked to some extent, or
You might, look, New Zealand also is a country today. The consumer has changed also, right? Like a lot of people today are becoming more product aware on their phones first, on social media.
Of course.
They want to buy into a brand story. They want to buy into a brand journey. And also, it's not so simple, right? Like, because it's not just so easy, or your product's going to appear on shelf.
True.
It's, you have to know what product are you bringing to market. Is there a big enough market? Is the story good enough? Is your product differentiated enough that, when the supermarket says, yes, we'll bring you on, because they don't want duplication, right? They want extension. They want category to grow. Right. So which new consumer is your product going to bring into their door? And so there's so many factors you have to think of before you say, oh, I'm going to create this product and then it's going to be in supermarkets. It doesn't.
But talking about social media and these startup cultures, right? That's what we want to bring it up. But don't you think people have been kind of romanticizing the concept of starting of business? What are your thoughts on it? I mean, most of the people don't look at what the background goes behind doing a startup. Everybody 100%. Wants to do a startup. So what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. This is a good question, because I was speaking to this not too long ago with an entrepreneur who started a business this year. And I met him for a coffee. So I love doing that as well. Like, people, I feel humbled, like when someone reaches out to me and say, hey, I'm starting something. Can we catch up for a coffee? I definitely make time for that.
100%. And thank you for taking time for this as well.
This is, of course, an opportunity which is great. But, when I come across someone like that, I feel I will be doing them a disservice if I bought into their dream picture. Right. So I remember, this is what I told this person, which was, I said to him, what I feel is that you are already in your mind, you're enjoying the view from the top of the mountain. But you're forgetting that there's a damn mountain you need to climb.
Absolutely.
Okay. The mountain is in your way right now. You're at the bottom. But in your mind, you're already thinking about exiting, who's going to invest, how you're going to pitch to these people. I said, you haven't taken the first step yet.
Of course.
There's a mountain in the middle.
They're giving the reality check, right? At the end of the day.
And because it's not for me to judge whether he appreciated that or he rejected that. That's not my problem, right? My honest answer is that it is the hardest journey that you will go through. And it is a journey of self-discovery, period. It will change you. It will uproot you inside out, period. No questions asked. Like, it will destroy every idea you have of yourself. You have an ego, game over.
Game over. There's no second step to it after that.
There's no, you cannot operate, from a place of arrogance and ego. You just can't. Business and life, and I was doing something, like I had an interview with another magazine, and they asked me this question. They were also interviewing entrepreneurs, and they said, in the last sort of 5-6 years, what have you learned about marketing and business and strategy and all of that? And I thought for a bit, and I said to him what I just told you, which is, Swole Foods has taught me more about myself than anything else. Because it's all inside out. Your business is a true reflection of you. Period. Like, how you operate life is your business is going to manifest that.
100%. And you talked really well. You met whoever the new entrepreneur that is starting his journey as well. But you started your journey somewhere, and even that first step itself, right? What was the first thing that broke? Was it the kind of a system, the cash flow, or your patience, pretty much, right? What was your thing?
Something that broke?
Yeah.
Well, I started with no money. So I had no money. I had no money. We bought the first meals on credit.
Okay.
And the aim was, you sell the meals before the 20th of next month, so there's money to pay the invoice.
Of course, yeah.
And then increase the order by 10%. And everything that one can think of that goes wrong went wrong. Everything, right? Wrong meals, wrong labels, wrong delivery, broken delivery, damaged products,
Wow.
wrong couriers delivering to wrong address. My own, like, even the people I brought in, a lot of times when you are very small, people come to you to help you because they feel pity for you in a way. And this is friends also. We'll support him, he's just started a little business, and we'll, let's give him an order here and there, and they'll come and buy some meals and stuff like that. And then as you grow, right, they show you different sides.
Okay.
And so even people's trust, the ones who you trust, that he's a friend of mine, he's going to support and stuff like that, they reveal different sides to them.
100%.
And then, so to answer your question, I'll show you all the scars on my back. Every scar you can imagine is there. And you just have to, this is the time where your why and your self-belief that I'm doing this for something way bigger than all of this is what will take you forward.
Well, you pretty much answered my next question, which was around the same brutal truth, which is pretty much, you answered right now. It changes. The face changes, the attitude changes, there's a lot of things changes. But talking about it as well, you being out and about, talking to people, you love to connect as well. How do you stay connected to the customer? Because once it starts rolling out in Pack and Save's New Worlds, countdowns, not just being Swole Foods a barcode for people who are buying. How do you stay connected to customers?
Yeah, it's very, very super good question as well, because when I first started, right, we had 5 or 7 orders a day.
Sure.
And as we were building up, I used to physically ring up every customer. So if you made an order with us, I used to call you up and have a chat to you, understand your goals, tell you which meals are going to work for you, how to plan them around your daily lifestyle. So and email people eating plans, email people diet plans, like workout plans. Physically go and hand deliver. Someone says, I need an order tomorrow. Get in the car, drive to Albany, drop off 1 box.
I think Chris is going to agree the most out of it, that's for sure. And I can't see him, but I mean, he must be laughing because he's into similar sense. But yeah, carry on, definitely.
So everything you do when you're starting off is actions to survive, but also actions which are not scalable. Like you cannot do that at scale, right? So today, and as you grow, man, like as you grow, you can bring in a lot of automation, you can bring in a lot of systems in place. See, what happens is, and this has been my experience also, is when you're a startup, you are everything.
You're the only person doing the accounting, the marketing, the sales, the operations, everything.
Cleaning the toilets,
absolutely.
Everything. And as you evolve and as you grow, and when you have resources, because another big problem for a startup is you don't have resources. You can't hire the good people. So you're hiring whoever's available to you, and then after that it becomes a headache because now they become a problem for you than a solution. And now you're like, how do I get rid of this person? Like what do I do, because they're actually a dead weight for me. So everything is against you.
Fair enough.
I use this sentence, which in the past as well, like when you start a business, it's not designed for you to win, man.
It's always
designed to break you down.
Break into pieces.
How many people wither away, because it got to them, and it became too much. That is just not working out. And it's so true. I live those days. There's so many days and nights. Only an entrepreneur knows how many nights you haven't slept. Only an entrepreneur knows, when you look at the bank balance, how you feel. My wife showed me a Instagram reel, which is just coming back to mind, which is it says that when I became an entrepreneur, I started sleeping like a baby. I woke up every 2 hours and cried. It's like it tests you, man.
100%.
But to answer your question, how we stay in contact with customers today, of course, you build a brand. You have systems with emails. You have athletes and influencers now and it's like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
And for the first few years, I was also not one of those people where I was the brand. I never put myself in before the brand.
Yeah.
Right, because I didn't want to be that entrepreneur who is trying to sell something and guys please help me out and things like that. I wanted this to stand on its own feet. I wanted people to come for the product, for the quality of the product, and then, hey, by the way, this is our story. So we only presented our story last year.
Yeah.
Because even before, and when I was the only guy, I used to change names in my email when I was replying back to customers,
just so that
people thought that there's more than one person in this company. Sometimes I used to call myself something else, just so that people believe that it's not one man. It was my wife along the whole journey,
of course.
But I was customer service.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where I'm going with this. I lost my chain of thought, but
no, that's okay.
There was just fun things that you got to do as a startup.
And you now what Swole Food is. Would you ever just a question which is not written, but would you sell this brand to anybody if the right number comes into play?
Like I said, right now that's not in my domain. To be honest, what is my feeling in my heart right now is we've just started. Okay. Today, after all these years,
True.
I have the ability to put my head above the trenches.
True.
Because the first few years you're digging in the trenches.
Absolutely.
You're just survival mode.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're going. Like, you're reactive.
You're building solid base.
Today, now I can tell you, Rich, the next 3 years I'm headed in that direction.
Yep.
Whether I get there or not, I don't know.
Then we'll talk about it.
But I'm headed there, right?
100%.
And so I think we are just starting.
That's good.
And I have more energy and drive for what I have to do than I did in the last 5 years. It's
we talk about and that's exactly what you want, right? The drive for the business. And talking about the co-founders themselves, you always see that polished version of it. You talked very well in terms of putting the brand first, then yourself as well. But what's something about the success that that suits you, or talking about kind of a, how to put it, people put a more polished version of themselves in front of people, but what is something that is going in the background? What is a person like in the background? Does this help in terms of succeeding in the brand as well?
Like I said, man, your business is a reflection of you.
Yeah.
If you're true and honest, and it's not only that, right? Because your team is a reflection of you.
Of course.
Your messaging is a reflection of you. So it's all, it just goes back to how I was saying I live, which is inside out. Like, you got to fix everything inside, and then the world is going to reflect what's happening, right? For me, there is no polished version, to be honest.
Okay. This is the version.
This is
Taz. This is Taran.
This is my story,
Yep.
and it's all true. Like even what we are talking today is just that much, right? Because
it's like tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, whatever is kind of I'm remembering and coming to mind.
Yeah.
But it's been a journey of complete testing, complete testing, because you're nobody. No one wants to give you accounts. No one wants to trust you. No one wants to give you credit.
Yeah.
You don't have money. Like, for first 3 years, I didn't take $1 salary from the company.
Wow.
When yeah, it was not I lived off, my wife and I lived off $1,500 a month.
$1,500 a month.
3 years. That was what we were taking after paying rent. That was what we were left in our pocket.
Yeah.
We were surviving off that.
Wow.
We have to pay wages. We have to pay pickpackers. You have to pay all these guys who show up
to
work. And my manager was making more money than me.
Okay.
And we were paying him a salary,
of
and
course.
I didn't have a salary.
How do you define success? If you wanted to put in one-liner, or I know it's going to be a detailed answer if we do talk about it, but if there's a one-liner that you want to put it against it, from how you started to now.
when you wake up in the morning
Yep.
and you ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
that for me is good enough.
And you count that as a success for
That's
yourself.
for me good enough. When I wake up in the morning right now, I say, let's go. I've got stuff to do,
Mm-hmm.
lives to change, things to get done.
Yep.
I'm happy, you know.
I mean, it is what it is. It is empowering for people to know that, even once you are at that level where you're moving upwards on that mountain journey that we talked about, success is about thinking straight, going out there, waking up in the morning and thinking, let's get it done, guys.
I give you a very good example, right? Because success is so subjective.
Exactly.
Right? Success is very subjective. And
Yep.
I'm going to kind of muck up this whole example. But I think it was earlier on this year or something like that, where Elon Musk was launching some rocket. Okay.
True.
And it went up. I don't know how high it went. And then
Yep.
it exploded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And the whole world said, they failed.
True.
Okay. But I heard in one of his interviews, he's like, everybody's thinking we failed. But what we wanted to check is how it takes off.
Yeah.
So that was our measure of our success.
True.
That it took off the way we were expecting it to take off.
Lasted for 5 seconds, and that's exactly the
But
measurement
that
of
was
success.
what we were going for, right?
Exploding was not even a part of concept of success.
Exactly. It's like that. So what is your measure of success is completely subjective. Like it's a continuously changing spectrum.
Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Like at every level, your level of success will keep changing.
Yep. 100%. And as you said, as you rightly said, every level it changes, but something that also changes is the higher you go on the levels, you feel that pressure, the pain, the suffering that you've gone through to reach the higher levels of achievement, the lonelier it gets on the top of the order, right? Yeah. And the top of the mountain.
The whole thing is lonely, man. It's not lonely on the top. It's lonely at every level. You just have people who appear to be on this journey with you.
Yeah.
And then, but also, in all honesty, that's the only way you need it to be.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you can't stand.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this. If you've climbed the mountain, or say if you've climbed to a certain level, okay, you can then look below at somebody else and say, hey, buddy, don't go there. That's a road closed. Come from this side.
Yeah.
So you can guide someone else up as well, right? But the journey is alone. It's a inside, like I said, this whole journey is inside out.
And what's the next chapter for Swole, I would say? I mean, what's next?
Well, right now we're just focused on the retail expansion.
Mm-hmm.
So we're introducing different product categories. Like I said, we've introduced the protein ice cream this year,
100%.
Protein pancake premix this year as well. So, very, very humbling for us to know that it's in foodstuffs, it's in Woolworths, it's in gas stations.
Yep.
It's still sometimes like when my wife and I, we go to Pack and Save or we go to New World and we see our product on shelf, we still can't believe it,
Yeah.
And so right now it's just about solidifying and consolidating that and making sure that we prove to all those big brands who've trusted us, given us an opportunity, that we belong there.
100%.
So all the energy is going with that. And there's like you said, with every layer as you go higher, one slip,
the whole thing comes tumbling down.
Yeah. So you have to put every step a lot more cautiously.
Absolutely.
Because you have less and less ground.
100%.
And so and so you become more focused,
narrowed
down. So my thing right now is where do I choose to spend most of my time?
Of course.
Like not on the, like every decision, every I guess it's like what's the quality of the time I'm spending in order of the decision that I'm making in order to propel the business forward. So right now my only thing is to again back in survival mode with the supermarket game, because it's completely new for us.
100%.
We don't know what we've got ourselves into.
Yeah.
But we trust that if we are there.
Yeah.
We are meant to be there.
100%.
Now we just have to
place.
we just have to solidify our position there.
100%. If talking about people who will be looking at this, if you wanted to share one kind of scaling secret, the mindset on discipline that has changed everything for you, what would be that one or two things be?
Yeah, this is also a really good question, because I keep saying this to my team as well.
Exactly.
It is the daily discipline of doing the small stuff.
Yeah.
Those 1%
Yeah.
that you have to get done every day,
Mm-hmm.
that discipline to show up and pick up that call, pick up that phone and make that phone call, or to send that, it's a 15-minute email turnaround time. It cannot go 16, cannot go 20. In 15 minutes, reply back. Like those kind of things, those daily disciplines, those fundamentals, when you're small, they're easy to do.
Yep.
Right?
True.
As you grow, they become important.
Yeah.
And when you want to scale, they're non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Because without, that's the foundation.
Yeah.
Right? So
sure.
That's what I believe in is those 1% every day.
Yeah.
You have to keep doing,
No, fair enough.
That is in your control. Scale is not in your control. Scaling is not in your
just the last bits now. For the person who's listening to this story and who will be listening, what is that one move that you want to tell them that they should, people talk about, we will start someday, one day will come. What is that one thing you want to tell them that that one day is today?
No, that one day was yesterday. That one day was yesterday. It's never going to be set up for you, man. It's never, your family is never going to be right. Your bank balance is never going to be right. Your relationship is never going to be right. Your opportunity is never going to be there. Your mindset is never going to be right. Your confidence is never going to be there. You're never going to have enough courage, but you got to do it regardless, man. You're never going to have all those things ticked off. Never. I mean, until today, I don't have it. I'm telling you, if you think people, it's, you have to go. Because see, the simple thing is, right, like, and this is what when I started Swole Foods, this was what my thing was as well. And funny story, not a lot of people know this, but maybe I'll share with you and then you can leave it in if you want. You talk about selling, right?
Yep.
So again, my personality was trustworthy. I was not trustworthy, but trusting. So when I started Swole Foods, I was going around knocking on manufacturers, right? And this one particular company, they took me in and I laid out my entire business plan. Okay? Everything. What was my idea? How I'm going to do it? What the meal should look like? The name? All of that. Okay? And they pulled me in. We had 2-3 months of negotiations, and they made some meals and testing and stuff like that. And then one day they called me and they threw a page on the table, and it said over there that company wanted to own 50% of my company. Wow. In order for me to get started. Okay. Yeah. And they were willing to pay some money for that.
Okay.
And then again, life gives you a chance, and so in that it was written that that company wants to own 50% of the trademark of Swole Foods. So they want ownership of that. So I went back, spoke to Ksenia. I said, like, this is the only way we are going to be able to start. True. Because every door is closed. No one's making any meals for us. These guys want to make meals. Today it's nothing, like. Then I slept on it, and I thought to myself, I said, like, these guys have been in this industry for 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm nobody. But if they are willing to pay me for this idea, 50%, clearly they see something which I don't see today.
Yeah.
So if in 1 year or whatever if they own it, right, and I'm kind of working in a way for them, I'd not be able to live with myself.
100%.
So what happened was, when I went back, the one loophole was they randomly asked me a question. They said, so who owns the trademark of Swole Foods? You own it? And I just answered, yes, I own it. And he said, okay, so we're going to have to get lawyers involved and blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. I ran back to my gym and I looked up Google. I said, how do you trademark something? I didn't even have the
That you
trademark.
have to trademark the product.
But I just said yes to them. So I was lucky that they
Not
didn't
fast enough.
Yeah, they didn't do their homework, that there is no trademark at that time.
Ooh.
So that saved me, because I went there and I got the lawyer engaged and we filed the application. And that saved my entire story.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would
was
have been a
gone.
whole
It
different
was
thing.
gone, yeah.
So going back to that, like, if you have an idea, or if you have something that's sitting with you that, I should try this, or I should do this, or I believe there's an opportunity here, I rather you do it, fail miserably, lose money, whatever happens, then it's out of your system. And you accept that it wasn't it didn't work out.
Yeah,
but I gave it all, didn't work out. Because I can tell you this much, that a year, if you're having that idea, there's other people having that idea.
100%.
Okay?
I've been told that.
Yeah, so there's the one who moves first, it has a chance. Because otherwise you'll be buying that same service or product from someone else, and that will hurt you a lot more than failing could ever have hurt you.
I can think of a few things. I've related back to that conversation quite a lot with one of my best friends. But yeah, not true. You're pretty much onto it. If you're not the person, and you're not the only person thinking about it, that's a lot of people thinking about it. But the only difference between you and them is who's taking the first step for it.
Yeah, and if you take the first step, bro, it's so easy, because there is no benchmark.
Absolutely.
You're not.
There's
no one going to tell you that, oh, that is better than this, or this is better than that, because you're going, you're
Absolutely.
carving the path.
But do you think that, the success and everything that comes with being an entrepreneur and everything, does it come from a point of pain, or does it come from a point of purpose?
Again, what I believe is people only act out of two emotions, pain and love.
True.
Okay. Pain is you're moving away from something.
True.
Something hurts you and you want to move away from that.
Absolutely.
Love is you're moving towards something.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to operate out of love. I've had enough pain in my life, which has also converted itself into love.
Yeah.
But again, like, I really don't believe we are not that I'm not grateful, but I don't think that we have reached success. And I never think of all these things, you know, like I said, I feel we're just starting, like, so, and I'm operating out of that place of the love of and gratitude of this opportunity, man.
Sure.
More than anything else,
Sure.
And now it's like, if not me, then who's going to do it? And why not me? Like, why can't I do this? And why can't I do that? And why can't we create this? And my wife, she the one sentence she hates that coming out of my mouth is, I tell her I've got an idea. When I said I've got an idea, she doesn't like it, because there's so much that it's constantly
going in your mind,
going on, and you're trying to do it. So people do operate out of both emotions.
Yeah.
One is, like I said, you're trying to not experience something.
True.
And one is like, you don't know what you're going to experience, but you're just happy to keep going,
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. So I think that energy of operating out of gratitude and love and thankfulness and appreciation is your energy is just lighter.
Yeah.
When you're operating out of pain and anger and frustration, like, I'm going to prove the world wrong.
Yeah, that's coming out of aggression and a lot of negative things. That's a beautiful way to present it yourself as well. I mean, and even to the ending note of our podcast today, that, if you do something, do for the purpose of love. And if you like something, go for it, guys. Anything that you want to say, last thing to the audience? They have a lot to listen to, of course, but anything as a parting words that you want to, guide them, tell them, suggest them, or even advise them, maybe?
man, I don't feel I'm in a position to give advice.
No, that's fine.
So
I mean,
if you fundamentally, ultimately, it all comes down to who you become,
Sure.
right? Who you are, how you operate, and how you perceive this world. And I think if you are someone who is genuine and
Sure.
honest and open, you can't lose.
Sure.
Because you're never going to operate out of fear.
Absolutely.
Because again, and so whether it's business, whether it's anything, it's going to test you. It's a part of the contract. When you sign it that I'm going to go on this journey, there's all the fine print.
True.
The fine print is sleepless nights, stresses, headaches, heartbreak. All that is all the fine print.
Absolutely.
But you keep going, and if you have one or two people in your world who are with you, could be your wife, could be your partner, could be your mom, could be anybody who is close with you, then that's enough. You don't need you don't need the world supporting you, man.
True.
You just go yourself, do your thing, and when the time is right, look, people recognize it happens. Like today, you reached out. You reached out now. Not in 2018, not in 2019, not in 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. You reached out, right? So, but today, this meeting, this opportunity that I was given is not because of today.
Yep.
It's because of me standing alone in a hot warehouse and taping thousands of these boxes.
Sure.
So it's a journey of self-discovery, man, and that's what I feel, and I think it's the most beautiful ride that you can go on, and I'm blessed to do it.
Fantastic. Now, thank you so much, Taz, for coming on the show, putting that knowledge here, putting that the feeling, that journey that goes behind of a successful entrepreneur, which people look from social media or a different angle that they look at from. And sorry, go ahead.
One thing I'm just thinking is that I don't think we really spoke about, if someone was sitting there expecting the steps on how to scale a business.
No,
I mean,
no. I mean, the thing is, we don't need to let them know steps. I mean, this is, as he said, the journey of this podcast is about a motivation that startup community to build on and to initiate that first step.
And I also feel, to be honest, Bridge, it's also, even if I say this podcast was in another way, where I said I did this step, then that step, then that step, then that step.
Like it's
right?
going to be absolutely different for someone.
100%.
Exactly. As you said, it's subjective.
Yeah, it's a unique journey.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have to take the first 5 steps I took. Maybe you straight away can jump to step 10. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think like I said, the spontaneity of the answers was more from what I've walked.
Exactly what they want, right?
Yeah.
Again, as you said, the reason why I would personally, or both of us, don't want to go into the detail of that steps, because it is subjective.
Yeah.
It may not be same as somebody else looking at it, or somebody else whose journey's been starting off, or where somebody is at in their planning stage, right?
Yeah.
This podcast is to motivate, is to push them, that the people who are thinking, who have always been pondering upon that thought of starting up, but they never went through, because they think, I have X problems, I have Y problem, I have Z problems. But yeah, that's what it is. That's the whole agenda behind it.
Last note I can say
True.
from my side is, there is a tendency for us, and this is my experience, and because I believe this is my whole journey is guided by grace, and this is God's business.
Yeah.
He's looking after the whole thing. And the way I've walked is, many times you want, like you said, these thoughts that someone has, or I want to know where I'm going and things like that. It's like you want to know the entire path ahead of you, right?
Yeah.
But what my experience has been, and what a lot of entrepreneurs might share with you, is like, you got to trust.
Yeah.
And it's like, and this is an example I give my team and Ksenia as well a lot, is like, for me, it's been like, I can't see the next step.
True.
But what God is saying is, lift your foot, and before it touches the ground, I'll put the step in front of you.
Yeah, just
and
take
then
a leap
lift
of
another
faith.
one, and you're not going to know, before it touches, the step will come under you.
Yeah.
And then by the time you look back and you're like, damn, there's a road that we walked.
True.
And that's been my whole thing.
It's a leap of faith. And and with that, I think we'll take it up from here. Thank you, Taz, once again for coming here. That was Taz from Swole Foods. The journey that started from gym right till the supermarkets, reminding us, growth is not just about, looking at the big picture. It is the first step starts where the comfort pretty much ends for you. Thank you, everyone.